Welcome back, everybody. Supreme Mixtape down 0-2 against the gods that are L5. Can they bounce back, G-Clef, do you think?
It will be tough. It will be super tough for this match, especially when they're already losing 2-0, and looks like they're having a lot of a hard time going into game number 3.
It will be Dragonshire as the map pick here. Of course, SMT will have the choice to either take first ban or the map. You know, honestly, this is probably they took first ban. I have to imagine this is an L5 pick with how well they play on this map. I think it would be unwise for SMT to try to pick this map against L5 and give away the first ban.
Yeah, basically, this is the draft. So this is the draft, and they get out-rotated by the global disadvantage, and L5 just taking that advantage, just pressing hard on their wound right now.
Yeah, and this is, it was correct, you know. This is definitely first ban for Supreme Mixtape. And this is a map where Falstad is, of the 3 maps we've seen, not as strong, but still quite powerful. And if you're not going to, well, I think first ban would be a bit crazy, but they're going to do it. I was going to say, if you're not going to first ban him, you absolutely have to take him away, because L5 is dominating with this hero alone in terms of EXP soak. We're going to see Vala taken away from Dudu here as well.
That means they'll open up Zarya for Supreme Mixtape. Let's see if they actually choose and bans out Vala here. Because Dudu, L5 saw him out of position of like at least a few times, right? Like 3 times close to?
Yeah.
So I don't think they actually have to ban out Vala here.
They certainly don't have to. Honestly, I'd rather them stick with the Zarya ban. It's been working for them so far. Dudu was a threat in only 1 team fight, but besides that, he was out of position, got caught and killed. I personally prefer the Zarya ban here, but they have some time to think about it. Seems to be the first time L5 has actually had to use their entire time pool here, as they've been pretty certain of everything before. You and I were talking in the break, it just feels like Supreme Mixtape doesn't have the level of preparation or experience as L5, so it's using a lot more time.
They actually do open up Zarya. Look at that insta-lock on Zarya. That will probably always be on no chat from Supreme Mixtape, and that is what he was known for during the opening division. And he was really protecting and using that expulsion zone to to zone out the enemy. And then L5 really, as expected, they've also picked Malfurion and Ragnarok's insta-lock.
Yeah, we'll see it on the other side of the coin here, as L5 does insta-lock. Now, Supreme Mixtape has a few different options here.
They can even do the Haka. I think L5 is giving them a chance. It looks like they opened up Zarya. They didn't pick any global heroes yet. Like they didn't.
In terms of top tier, really powerful heroes though, right now, I feel Supreme Mixtape has none available. You know what I mean? They got Zarya, but Zarya alone is not terrifying. I look at this and I think, you got Zarya because you desperately need her and you're so desperate to have her, but now what are you going to pair her with? We'll have to wait and find out, but you don't have Vala to pair her with. And what are they going to protect here? We might see them build another Tyrael comp with like Greymane or something.
I think they're going to keep Judy on ETC because Judy really, really heavily favors ETC, but maybe they'll switch up because they lost 2 straight, and then they end up going with Thrall and Tyrael first, because Thrall is, of course, his laning is just outrageous. You can't really win the fight against him just 1v1 in the lane. Yeah,
this is you know, leading towards a potential unkillable composition for Thrall to be protected super heavily. They could even run a Tassadar with this as well if they want to go super down that path. That does leave them a bit weak in terms of range damage. I don't think they will, but we've seen it in China before. For L5 here, it's not an easy ban. They may just simply take the Rhaegar away, but that's a tough choice. There's no clear ban here.
They can take away ban Rhaegar and take Brightwing, which Swoy heavily favors, and he loves to play on Brightwing, and this is the map when they especially lost the Falstad already.
Ooh, they're going to take away Morales because, again, this is one of those things where if you have these heavy frontliners, Zarya with the shields, Tyrael in the front, it's hard to kill Morales. And I like that lockdown here
Lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Lockdown's going to come out in game number 3.
That's right. Keep waiting, Tempest fans. Now, SMT here could look to ban a range damage. There's a lot available. The problem with doing so is that it also eliminates one of their range damages. Li Ming is a choice that both teams would like to have right now, so it's awkward. If you ban her, then you can't have her, but they can't have her either. It's not easy right now for Supreme Mixtape for this ban, as there's so much available. We're in a meta now. Finally, I feel like we're at this point. And Dreadnought said this as well back in America, and also he was talking about it in the World Championship at Gold Series. I really believe what he says is we're in the meta where it's like there's so many heroes for every role now.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't really choke anything, and sometimes there's not going to be a clear-cut choice. Sometimes there's not going to be an exact correct choice, and I think this is one of those situations. SMT walks in the Tychus ban.
It makes sense. Not the worst one. I think it was one of the expected ones to come out. Because L5, after losing Thrall, they had to have some kind of DPS, and they can't have Bala anymore. They can't really do Raynor into this kind of team fight. Tychus was the choice, probably. Good ban.
Tychus and Vala are kind of the all-around AD carry type bans that you're looking at here. That's why Vala's taken away from L5. It's like, no, now we get all the standard damage away. Falstad's gone. There's not a whole lot of damage left. I think L5 takes Li Ming here 100% for her power, and also to remove that from Supreme Mixtape. We could have a Gul'dan or even a Kael'thas in this game with where we're headed. There's the Li Ming pick, and they're going to take Sergeant Hammer. So in terms of range damage right now for SMT, there's not a whole lot of options.
Okay, they're trying to blow up Thrall even before he turns to come in, and Earthquake's in. And L5, they really have the options to just bail out from the fight or just dive in if they're having the advantage, I feel like. And even if they try to come in, Malfurion can just root anyone who just tries to come in. That's a good zoning skill also. And having Ragnaros really helps on pushing the lanes. But L5, this draft is actually a little different draft compared to game number 1 and game number 2 because they do not have a global hero yet. Maybe they're waiting for Dehaka, or depending on what Supreme Mixtape finishes, then they'll try to have a counter to that.
I was going to say, I think the only way Ariel is viable is if they take Gul'dan. That will give them the ability to stasis Thrall. I don't think that Ancestral is going to be enough. We're going to see ETC picked up here, and to be quite honest with you, G-Club, I think Supreme Mixtape's draft is strong, but it's obvious, it's glaringly obvious exactly what they're trying to accomplish here. L5 is adjusted against that. They have 2 great range damage dealers. They have the big stun. They have lockdown for Thrall. They have the ETC Malfurion combo. I think on paper, SMT's draft can be quite good. But in practice, based on what we've seen so far, I think L5 might just close this out 3-0, or excuse me, yeah, 3-0 in this best of 5. We're going to jump into this third game, Dragonshire, right now. My intro is terrible, G-Club. I'm fired. First day back on the job, I ruined it.
All right, you can't be.
All right, here we go. There's no one else. If I quit, who's going to cast this? All right, SC on Hammer, Nacho Jin on Li Ming, Junga on Ragnaros, Noblesse on ETC, and Sway on the Mouth.
That was not the worst one. It's okay.
It wasn't the worst, but I mean, it was like the worst one we've had this season.
Yes, so far. And on the right, Supreme Mixtape, Scarlet on Ariel, Dudu on Gul'dan, Wiz on Thrall, Judy on Tyrael, No Chat, and Zarya. Finally, he's on Zarya. Try to see what kind of team comp you make around Zarya, especially the Korean region. The entire region thinks Zarya is one of the most OP heroes right now, and that there's just so many team comps you can make around her. But just having one tank, maybe an ETC, you don't even need like a Diablo or Johanna. You don't need the strongest, tankiest front line if you have a Zarya. She can basically shield you and absorb so much damage.
100% agreed. We'll see exactly how this plays out, because as we've already seen, starting really, I'd say no one in the West has really been doing this too much. There's been whispers of it. Dignitas especially has been running Zarya in similar comps, but L5, back then Ballistics, who won in the grand finals, of course, of the World Championship at Gold Series, was using Zarya to push turrets very aggressively and found a lot of power with that, with a lot of support. We'll see if Supreme Mixtape would do something similar here. Obviously, this is not the exact type of comp. It was basically a cheese what L5 was running there. We got a little bit of value in the top lane out of that. And Zarya gets a lot from just attacking into those cannon towers and shielding the damage, as we see here. No chat, though, actually gets a horrible trade there. Only gets a little bit of energy. Judy's going to try to rotate down, but unfortunately, he's not ETC this time. Does get a body block off, but not too successful. I have to say, to be honest, when I look at this team, I think what everyone's been saying about Judy has been correct. He's been the one that impresses me the most in terms of individual skill.
That's right, Judy has been doing so well, and especially L5 just pressing, but it was the fact that Judy was in the front line, No-Chat getting punished for not reading the map too well again. That's going to cost them a lot, as the first Dragon Knight is going to come up for L5 right now. Nacho Jin on that Dragon Knight, just going to push that middle lane. They already have a level lead, entire level lead. It's only been 2 minutes into the game. Wow, this absolutely just punishing Supreme Mixtape right now.
This just looks to be a stomp. Supreme Mixtape is going to really hit their stride when they hit 10. And of course, if Gul'dan can get Echo Corruption, it looks like it's actually going fell build instead, so never mind. If he had that, if the game went longer, it'd be great. But this isn't Europe, and it's going to actually go fell. In Europe, the games always go long, so you're like, oh, yeah, the scaling hero is really good.
Yeah, you can never make a core call.
Yeah, no one ever does, for some reason. Europe versus China, remind me of the games I had to cast in China for that. But anyways, I can't believe this is going to happen. Okay, he gets away.
He does get away, but there was this pretty dangerous path to walk by. He just passed by, because Nacho Jin was still on that dragon, but if he were to get off the dragon and just punish them with Li Ming, he would have died.
Look, I mean, 2-minute Dragon Knight, 2 walls, 2-level lead. Thrall needs time to get his heroic. They need the Sank. They need the expulsion zone. They need the stasis to really make this comp work and team fight properly. But L5 is just running away with this game already.
Yeah, L5, they have a lot of range damage, like Li Ming, Sergeant Hammer. And compared to the Supreme Mixtape, Thrall has to come in to do any damage. Gul'dan has some range, but still not too much of a range compared to like Li Ming or Sergeant Hammer. So L5 really, when their drafting ability is on top, they are the world-class team. Supreme Mixtape, they need to not just knowing what you want to do, but they actually have to think about what the enemy team is trying to do and tries to ban that out, which L5 has been doing for the entire night today.
Yeah. Supreme Mixtape here, trying to get that 7 right now as this strong 4-man push in the bot lane with Sergeant Hammer and Siege Giants, as somehow Wiz is also losing to a Ragnaros in the top lane. The push with the Mercs is making it tough for him, but regardless, this tower is already down, so this is going to start to take fort damage. As you can see, Wiz should win this matchup easily. It's just the minion push that's giving him some trouble. Big rotation up, the Wiz is in trouble. He does not read this, and he will likely go down. Noblesse chasing here. Wiz is going to try to get the kill on Jungha, but it's not going to happen. Noblesse comes in here, misses the power slide, but it doesn't matter. Judy's going to have to back out, or he will face the same fate. Oh boy. SFT, do they really want to do this? They are fighting under fort.
They want to punish they really wanted to punish, but Noblesse comes in. SC doing some poking from the side, but that's not enough damage, of course. Without Thrall, they don't have too much damage. They actually have close to 0 burst damage. So L5, they can just walk out from there.
Gonna lose 2 forts now. They were losing EXP with that big rotation. They got no picks. They lost. Will lose. They lost top already. They will lose both shrines, and this means Noblesse can get a free channel. Jungha's already out positioning. What is Supreme Mixtape even doing here? What are they accomplishing? They all kind of backed off. They didn't even get the Merc camp. They couldn't start it, and they look to be falling apart. Level 10 reached here for L5, and I think Noblesse is just trying to decide if he wants to mosh pit or not because they're so far ahead.
And if you have Ragnaros right there, if you want to go full aggressive after taking down this fort, you can even go in Molten Core and be aggressive and snowball even more, trying to do some poke damage. It looks like that's not even needed for Jungha, just staying in the front line. Noblesse keep on pressing that wall. And the second one is already gone. It's only been 5 minutes and 50 seconds right now.
Wiz was soaking a little bit top. He got them to 9. He pushed the top lane. Noblesse still trying to do a little bit, maybe try to get one more Q off here.
They cannot fight. They have to hit 10. They have to wait for a while, because if they try to come in, L5 is going to punish them hard. They know what's going on.
They have so much poke, as you said before, and now that they have Napalm Strike, it's even better. So Supreme Mixtape, they kind of have to back off, but the more they back off, this comp has so much more poke. They can just chunk down these structures, as you can see.
Even with Li Ming's wave of force, there's literally no way that Thrall can go near towards Li Ming, or he will just get blown up from the beginning.
In terms of damage here, you can see how much already that Li Ming and Sergeant Hammer have been able to accomplish here with their poke alone.
And look at Noblesse just he's still not choosing his heroic. He wants to go.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it yet. Maybe he wants to go Mosh. I think Mosh is the right choice here, because if they're already pushing, they can just finish the game if they have the right Mosh with 4-man or 5-man Mosh.
All right, finally we have Horrify.
Okay.
We have Crystal Age, a Sanctification, Expulsion Zone, and Earthquake. This is what Supreme Mixtape has been needing this entire time, but unfortunately has not been able to get until so late that they've lost all 3 forts and keep walls are injured. If they actually could realize that there was an invade potentially here, okay, they realize this is a dangerous position for Jungha now. He needs to get out. This is actually too strong. They cannot fight this. Here comes the Expulsion Zone. He gets caught.
And there goes Jungha. That was the only chance, but great Sophirs, but not enough damage, of course. That's like the signature move of No Chat at Zarya. If you haven't played Zarya before, that's how you zone out, especially in that tight zones, and then you basically cut one and tries to get more advantage off of that.
With this 5-man rotation, Noblesse has decided to take stage dive. He's going to push top. He can come in, so he's now become a global hero as No Chat nearly goes down here. He's killing a keep wall. No one has been sent back to deal with this. This should not be happening. And he can actually engage and start the team fight at any moment here. Even though it's a 5v4 currently, actually a 5v3, as Ragnar still isn't there. Supreme Mixtape is backing off their tail caught between their legs. And this is, again, dominance by L5. They're going to take these shrines for free. Noblesse could actually just jump right into a fight here at any moment.
Yep, they will try to stall this for a while, but if a team fight goes on right here, they just can't fight because they already have the 13 talents, and which Supreme Tape does not. And while that's happening, ETC is just going to keep on pushing until a big fight happens. L5, they have the poke, they have the damage. All they have to do is just stay out of the danger zone and just keep on poking. Look at those pokes.
All right, here comes the stage dive. Dudu caught here. Shield used on him a bit early, in fact, and that's a bit of a waste there. No Chat going to be sad about that one. Dudu unable to get into range to drop out any fells.
That's a 2-1 heroic trade, and L5 is gonna, Tyrael just blown up. Sank was used, but too late, and Thrall, no chance of escaping. Wiz tries to run away, but No Chat is the closest, and then Ariel is the last one. Somehow, Ariel is the last one. And then with this Dragon Knight, I believe the 3rd Dragon Knight, they're probably just gonna push all the way to the keep, man.
They could potentially end the game.
Yeah,
here.
they can.
With 4 down, they will respawn in time. I'd say the safer option is to go for double keep here. This keep is already free. It's already dead. If they want to be greedy here, they have 3 levels of scaling advantage right now and the talent tier lead. But I think the better option is just simply to secure the win, secure the best of 5, take this 2nd keep in the middle, back off, and then just win the next game. I mean, they're going to have a 2-talent lead.
They still have a lot of heroics left. Great zoning, but ETC was the first one to blow up. There was not really much of a follow-up to, and then Malfurion is in danger. Twilight Dream goes up, but No Chat is also in danger, and then, wow.
Well, this is just basically failure to respect that talent tier advantage and also the scaling advantage here. They got a pick, but they still shouldn't be trying to fight here. They should be defensively positioning. It's unfortunate they don't have a lot of poke, so being defensive is really awkward for SMT here. But they overstayed their welcome with that first pick. The keep going to take some serious damage here. Dragon Knight does expire. And we'll see if L5 can actually take this down. Look at how much damage SC is doing. I think they get this for free. Oh, man.
Nacho Jin just punishes. And here comes ETC right from back home. And Ragnarok and Molten Core they can just finish the game right here.
This is game over, absolutely. L5, the target down this core, our first best of 5 here in HGC Korea will go to L5. A 3-0 victory, very dominant performance. SMT has a lot to work on if they ever want to challenge this 2-time global champion in L5. And that is it, a 3-0 win. Look, world champions in BlizzCon Gold Series, the hardest and most difficult tournament in the world, a more difficult championship or tournament than BlizzCon. They won it. We saw SC saying he even felt better winning Super League than winning BlizzCon because he knows it's a harder tournament. This team wins all 3, and this new, I want to say, amateur team in SMT has a lot to work on if they want to really compete.
Not just a lot, they have a whole lot to work on to L5. It almost looked like a warm-up game for L5. They were experienced, and compare that to an amateur level. They were unexperienced. They have a lot to work on, like micro and macro team fight, especially communications in that matter. We will see them improving during the league because this is a league format, which we can keep on rooting for them too.
Absolutely. Well, I think we are going to take a break here shortly. I know on the Korean stream we're talking about our hashtag HGC event. So during this time, we'll tell you guys to just go ahead and hashtag HGC and talk about this tournament. I know we're on Blizz Heroes for the first time, so I know there's going to be a lot of new viewers, which I'm really excited about. We probably have the best viewership we've ever had for Korea, which is awesome. We basically have, now that Korea has started and China's starting soon, have Heroes on 24/7 all the time.
I think it's really good. I go home and get a drink, and then all I do is I get a notification Heroes event went on, and then I watch that all night. It ends up being like me staying up all night watching the games. It's great though. It's great to have a single channel. You can watch all the regions together whenever you want to.
Yeah, so follow this channel. Of course, you can follow 2 of us on Twitter. He's your G-Clef, or what are you now?
G-Clef.
You're just G-Clef?
No more G-Clef area.
Okay, no G-Clef area. Proximal, if we tweet this out when it's live. We're going to take a short break. We have 2 more best of 5s tonight, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a few. We'll see you in just a few.
Looks like we need to stop. So 1 more minute-ish.
We'll see you in just a few.
All right.